All aboard. Welcome aboard. It's How Not to Game with Cali Jack. I'm Cali Jack. And this is our new tutorial that I'm trying. The Expanding Worlds tutorial, I'm calling it. This is the third episode. None of it is posted yet. I'm waiting for that time of day when it will let me to see if it will. And it'll probably be evening before this gets up. We're looking at our ox carts and our finances. Our finances, we're losing money. I figured we would. So we're going to have to go slow, but we also need to start getting work in Malibu. Malibu will get us passengers. Passengers will make us money. So let's start by laying down our first routes. And our first routes are that we need to have we're going to need a place for people to get to work at the brewery. We're going to need one over here in the heart of town to gather as many people as we can. And then we've got a high population center over here that I want to serve in two different spots because those monuments will drag people. I've got a group of houses over here we'll gather from and one here. That will get us our first couple of lines. And we will set up I will set up two sets of lines. Hi. What all do I have open here? Oh, lists. Stick lists down here for now. Yeah, let's put him in the center where I like him. Kind of right there. We are playing Calico Mule Skinners because we are starting out as a ground transport company only. As I do it, we'll take them to Skinners and Sailors probably when we add water. If we add water before we expand the map. Now I did rotate the map, so let's get it back so that the bay, the big ocean, our big body of water, our ocean is to the north. And we're looking at going into Malibu. And we're going to take and do service on those guys now. And then we'll do a stage in between the two because that will really make some money. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a horse team, a coach team, and we're going to make 3 of those. So we're just going to copy them because they're each going to be on a separate line. So copying now does not affect us. Set my garage at a spot that's useful so that I can have it. And I actually want him as far over to the edge of the map as I can get. So we can do this. Schedule. Our first schedule is going to be making certain we get people over. So we're going to take those 2 high volume places, go here to our spot here, which is a good spot, at the church, which also serves the brewery. Instead of a normal run, though, where we just click back, we're going to have them come back to St. Luke's, over to the Malibu Monument, because that gathers a huge amount of people, too. I could have gotten away with putting the monument here, which would have gathered a little bit differently, but it still got most of these guys. We'll pick up the rest of the north end of town and the west end of town later. And same with the east that grows. And then he can go back out to there on his own. We're going to not set any limits. Not going to make him wait for an amount of passengers. Why? Because dividing 12 out to take and figure out the percentages is no fun. Promote this to a line. And this is going to be Malibu first town coach. Town and brewery. Better yet. I am willing to take names for the businesses on comments, so if you have a name for a business and you want it or an industry, feel free to take and do it. I'm also willing to take names for stops, and down the road as we serve new towns, I may even allow people to take and say, hey, we should call this town this. Start that guy rolling, and then we'll serve the other one and tie him in to our existing line and do him as just a copy backwards. Set to go, and that's going to be the Malibu South town coach. Or buggy, we'll call it a buggy. And I almost forgot. It was established 1830. Get him going and have him rolling. Now we need that stage between the two towns. And we're going to go from Monument Stop straight over to Town Hall. That's the way I like to run mine. No other stops. He's an express stage. And I'm going to kind of abbreviate. And that's the stage line in case we get more than one stage on it. Again, I should have put the 1830, but we can fix that in a second. Again, if you make a mistake on your namings, you can always come back to here and add in your 1830. There we go. I'm not going to put it into parentheses, I decided. I'll take the parentheses out of the others here in a minute. Come to here, and again, 1830. So we know that this is an early line. Not just by how low the number is on the line, but we know kind of when we established that line. And we can use those to sort when we want to take a look at things of, hey, let's upgrade our oldest lines first, our first customers. Here we're just going to take out the parentheses to clean this up and make it all uniform. Hit enter after any of your changes in text, guys. If you don't, it doesn't always take. Let me prove it to you by closing it out. Oh, it did take. They fixed that. It used to be there was a glitch that did. I guess that last patch was much better than I thought. All right. So we got our first 1830 lines out there. Now we should start seeing some money. And one other thing we want to take and dispatch out. We need a single ox cart to start hauling beer from here, where we're going to drop in, spend the big bucks. And over here, we're going to put in our 3 things to reserve them so that they are held for me. And we're going to deliver beer. So we're going to schedule him. He's going to come from here and go to there. And we're only going to put 1 ox on it. And this is the brewski. Because we needed a brewski. There we go. And that's our expansion for this one. We're just going to take and watch. How did I know it was time to start taking and moving beer? Well, offline, I took a look at goods production and our arrived and our stored goods. We've got 70 cases of beer waiting to go. 70 crates, be it ton, barrels, whatever it is that go into that thing. We got beer. So we've got beer It's going down, going down. The production of the beer, I should say. Our produced beer, we've produced 52 units. That's how I knew. And we've produced 162. Storage is at 194, so we've got a lot of beer to move. We can probably, with that much beer, safely put out a second ox cart. Let's do that. Hopefully, we won't jam up too soon. Each ox cart carries 12 cases, though, so we may jam him up, put him on the brewski, and start him. Now we're going to give it that little bit of a speed run. Like I said, we're going to have some speed runs just to take and see how we're doing. Let's start with financially. Financially, and we go to months. Is this lowering or increasing the amounts we're losing? Well, our assets are at 174. We lost 1,000, our op prof, so we did continue losing, but a lot of that's our dispatching and things like that. For our losses, we spent $4,400 on construction and $1,140 on new vehicles, so we need to take and watch where we're going. But slowly but surely, this is going to build our community. We also need to figure out a way to get some people out here to our farm so they can work. Because at the farm, 92 people can come out here. And it might be a good point to look into where we need to grab people from. Well, we got passengers there. These passengers, of course, which are served by this already. These units generate passengers, even though they're just parks and such. This one, barely. The beautiful lake, but it's, if we put a passenger spot over here, we'll pick up more people. Hopefully. Now, I don't know why he's doing the runs he's doing, but and we will say, now that we're in June, and look at that op profit. We made a profit in May, or April. In June, we only lost $192. We're already down to 700 this month. We're making money slowly but surely. We're going to turn it around with just a few more additions over the next little bit. Again, the things you can look at within the stores and your factories. You have the goods tab, which lets you know how much goods. So we've got 205 grain stored. So he'll be able to keep producing for a while after we go into this not producing for a while because it's filled up. Now I am going to spend one last bit because remember we said we needed to get workers out here. And our cost per month is double what we could on our road to the farm. We don't need to worry with ox carts about having the gravel down. So let's go ahead and reduce that down to a dirt road. And we'll do the same with this road until the city upgrades us. There we go. Save ourselves a little bit of money. Should probably do that over here too. This is our road. We might as well pay for it. If we're going to pay for it, we got to save as much money as we can. Cost us a little bit up front, but that $4 savings in 10 months will have paid off that just in savings. Again, I'm going to take and kick the speed run, and we're going to watch our financials for a little bit. Again, we're going to switch back to monthly. We're too early to take and do a year-to-year comparisons. It's the month-to-month we want to watch And we want this as close to or at above that white line, which is the 0 line. Unfortunately, our profits are going to be kind of low. But if we can keep from going down too much and find a way to take and generate better profits, we'll do all right. I mean, we got about 2 years before we have to worry financially unless we start making some serious money. Part of it is how short our runs are here. We're not making the big money. Hey, we were black there for a moment. We were above 0. Is this going to slowly but surely keep picking up? Slow it down for a moment, and now it's time to take a look at our passenger lines and our ox carts. So Hepton's not going to make money. There's just not enough people. Our poor little line there, let's take a peek at him. And we can shorten him up to cover just our lines that we have. This poor little guy over here, he is, well, he's carrying what? 2 passengers between each station, and he goes empty from town hall out to the marketplace for now. But eventually we're going to start getting people wanting to go from Malibu to that marketplace for food and beer. Will take time. Where is the marketplace? There's the marketplace. What do we got for goods? Well, beer. We're getting 2 cases, 2 units. We've got that set. The consumed, we've sold 96 per month just about. So that's good. How many have arrived? Well, we're pretty much delivering exactly what we're selling. We can increase a little bit there. Canned food hasn't come in yet because there isn't a cannery yet. At least I didn't see one. Unless you guys saw one drop in. Close out our toolbars for a moment. Looking at our chart on him, trips versus free capacity. Trips being in the yellow line, remember when they get close, they'll always be close in the month you're in early on, and we're early on. It's how they ended. And anytime they get close together or yellow is higher, you want to add another team or vehicle to your line. Or, if it's an option, increase the capacity. Unfortunately, I don't think you can put a second coach behind the stagecoach. I'm pretty certain it doesn't allow it. Another thing to look for here is our boost. What sort of a boost did we get? We got a 42% boost in our sales from passengers going over there. Max boost is 200%, so, we're a fifth of the way there. The demand is pretty high. We can get up to 500 passengers. And we've been delivering up to 97. Last month was 90, 94, 91, 84, and this would have been 60 within the first month when we were first doing our dispatch. We're in August now of 1830. I'm willing to take names for the marketplace, the farm, and the brewery. Leave one in the comments below. It may take a couple of episodes because I think I'll probably have a couple more episodes recorded before these drop and you can start putting in information. I'm Callie Jack. It's 20-minute mark. That's about where we wanted to stop. Have a better day than I'm having.